on blast.
There's an article written in the Bleacher Report last week, and it had a couple potential trade packages for DeMar DeRozan or Kyle Lowry. Now, again, these aren't like rumors that are like, substantiated by like, oh, this is something that's on the table. These are just things that when you go through numbers and try to see landing spots that might work, for both organizations, if this is something that the Raptors should consider. Again, not a rumor. Nobody's reporting this. These are just potential deals that would work with the old trade machine, right?
Hypotheticals, we'll call them.
Hypotheticals, indeed. So, Mr. Andrew Webster, let's start with the New York Knicks, okay? The New York Knicks get DeMar DeRozan. The Raptors get Joakim Noah, Ron Baker, and Frank Ntilikina.
So how long does the Noah contract have left? That's a good question.
The Noah contracts, Noah is owed $37.8 million over the next 2 seasons.
2 seasons. I'll tell you what I do like about it, though, is pairing Ron Baker back up with Fred VanVleet for Wichita State action. But no, I'm going to decline that trade because you're bringing on Frank.
Frank Ntilikina.
You're bringing him on, I guess, almost to try and replace, learn from Kyle Lowry, maybe learn a little bit of offense from one of the better offensive point guards in the NBA right now. We'll give Kyle Lowry his due for sure. But in doing that, you're losing the best player who's ever played for your franchise, and you now don't really have a 2 guard that you can start.
Yeah, I don't know how much, and I know there's a lot of different things that are going to get floated around over the next few weeks. So, buyer beware in terms of the rumors that you're reading.
Grain of salt. Grain of salt.
Take everything with the grain of salt. Exactly. And I would, if you're choosing which one you would give up, I would rather keep DeMar and trade Kyle Lowry. But if DeMar DeRozan, if I'm trading DeMar DeRozan, I think I want a little more.
I need a little more
from
back.
The Knicks, yeah. And I also don't know that I want to trade him to the Knicks and still have to play the Knicks.
Yeah.
Very often because that's a division rival as well, right?
If Noah's contract is coming off the books at the end of this season, then maybe that's a little more intriguing because then you're really freeing up a lot of cap room. But to have Noah on your roster for another 2 years is tough. It's a tough ask.
No, definitely. Let's move on to the next trade here, Webby, and it is the San Antonio Spurs. They would get Kyle Lowry for the Toronto Raptors receiving the other way Pau Gasol, Patty Mills, and Dejounte Murray.
Now I kind of like that. Now I definitely like that one a little more than DeRozan, because not only are you replacing 1 for 1? Are you bringing in a Patty Mills who's really, honestly, like so underrated, I think. Like a tough dude. We all know that we love the Aussies here on the On Blast podcast. Patty Mills can play. You're also bringing in a Pau Gasol, a great mentor for a guy like Jonas Valanciunas, somebody who can teach him some of the ways of the old school, as Pau Gasol knows. And Dejounte Murray is one of those Spurs guys, a lot like I really liked Jonathan Simmons 2 years ago, and I thought he was great for the Magic this year. I don't think they used him enough as they should have, and hopefully you would think that if you did get a Dejounte Murray back in that deal, he's a piece that the Raptors could really use in that big fleshed-out rotation that they have as well. It's bringing Dejounte Murray from a role that he's used to and putting him into a similar role here with the Raptors. I like that deal. I'm ready to do it.
I would do that deal in a second, to be honest, because I think Dejounte Murray is young. He's a great defensive player. Patty Mills gives you still some of that three-point shooting and scoring that Lowry would give you. And Pau Gasol is a vet. He's given you, you're not getting much from Pau Gasol at this stage of his career.
No,
but
and honestly, he's more like an assistant coach at this point. Somebody that you sit next to. You tell Jonas Valanciunas sit next to him on a flight.
Yep.
Just keep your ears open, keep a pad and pen, and learn from Pau Gasol.
Right? Exactly. Next up, this one got a little headway early on, but would you trade to the Minnesota Timberwolves DeMar DeRozan for Andrew Wiggins?
No. No, I wouldn't.
You said that very calm and cool.
Yeah.
Baby. Very calm and cool.
Yeah, like Wiggins is funny, man. Like, I think that we know what Wiggins is.
Okay.
I think he's hovering around 20 points a game. Somebody who won't take the big shots all the time. He's the third best player on a team.
Yeah.
On a legit contending team, he's the third, maybe the fourth best player.
Yeah, no, that's super interesting. For me to make that trade, I would have to know something is up with DeMar. Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of like inside info that I don't have, but someone like Masai Ujiri would have to know that,
right.
You know what? I don't think that DeMar is getting much better than this. And I really need to change something within this locker room to like shake things up. So let me bring in Wiggins and take a chance. You know, I would have to know a little something. But from what we do know of DeMar DeRozan, that like he's continued to improve each and every year. He's a pretty good guy. He's a pretty low maintenance superstar star in terms of how the NBA is, you know. I would keep DeMar DeRozan and keep what I know about DeMar DeRozan as opposed to trading him for a younger Andrew Wiggins that might not ever turn into what DeMar DeRozan is.
Not only that, but you're kind of setting Wiggins behind the eight ball a bit because he's going to be looked at to come in here and be the savior to pick up a mantle that DeMar DeRozan threw down. I mean, in this hypothetical trade that we're making.
Yes.
But the problem is that Wiggins doesn't have the offensive skill that DeMar DeRozan has. And then to bring him in and the first few crappy games that he has, you know, the comparisons are going to start. Well, Wiggins will never be as good as DeMar DeRozan was. Then the home crowd starts to get on him, acts a little tougher towards him because he is a local guy. And then you've got a bad situation for Wiggins. I think for a guy like Wiggins, he really has to be in the perfect situation where the talent around him is fostered for his skills.
Yeah, I mean, it's super interesting. I wonder how that's going to play out for Wiggins in Minnesota. I just don't know that bringing him to Toronto is the move. But, hey, that's why we have fun, fake, made-up trades, right?
They were three good ones.
One more, though. Oh. And this is the one that I would really be into if I'm the Raptors.
Okay.
Trading Kyle Lowry to the Miami Heat for Goran Dragic and Kelly Olynyk.
I do like Dragic. It's just like, so what would...
I don't know how much better the Raptors are on that trade, but I'm banking on the fact that Kyle Lowry will decline a little more next year.
Yeah.
And Dragic is still at the same level.
Right.
So
very similar
Lowry
players.
is better he's a better player than Dragic,
very
for sure.
Similar.
But you're also getting Kelly.
Yeah. But where are you going to play Kelly?
You can play Kelly, man. Yeah. You can play Kelly with Siakam.
Yeah, and what, backup center?
Sure. I'm down with that.
It's good because it's like he's like Tyler Hansbrough 2.0 for the Raps.
That would be fun.
That's an interesting one. I don't know if I would do it if I was the Raps, though.
Super interesting and always fun to go through trades. So if you're listening to this, hit us up. Let us know what you think of some of these trades that we just made up and, you know, or that we co-signed here from the Bleacher Report.
Am I wrong to not love Wiggins?
No, I don't think you're wrong for that.
Okay. I don't want to be seen as anti-Canadian.
No. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, even if you get into the Canada basketball side of things where Wiggins isn't playing this summer, but, you know, there's talk as to why that is. And, I mean, it's just not a good scenario. It's not a good look for a guy when every other NBA dude is like going out of their way to play for Canada, right? Including guys like Tristan, who's been in the NBA Finals the past 4 years in a row.
Is Murray?
And he's fighting his way. Jamal Murray, yeah, I'm pretty sure Jamal Murray is playing. But yeah, I don't know. Wiggins, I don't know. He needs to find something. I don't know if it's get a different coach. I don't know if it's a different situation. Just something up, or maybe this is just what he is, someone with immense talent and athleticism, but just doesn't really get to that full potential that other people place on him.
Doesn't have every piece of the puzzle.